I'm sorry?
Was she found in the back of the home or the second home?
She was found in the back of the second home. I'm not even sure if it's a half address. It's just a residence located behind in a small building. This did happen at 4:18 as the initial call that came in. Upon arrival, they did find a deceased person inside the house. Further investigation led to the family being detained and relocated out to our office for interviews, and the suspect placed into custody for what we're assuming is going to be a murder charge in the end.
Can you tell us the state that she was found? Can you describe the state that she was found? Physical state?
It was a portion of a body dismembered and a residence that was covered in blood. It's a gruesome scene at best.
Were you able to find her head?
The suspect was there, and the suspect was detained on scene, kept on scene until we brought everybody back here for their interviews.
You got there, did you wait for deputies to arrive?
He waited, and his family is the one who called it in. The father of the suspect made the initial call to dispatch, and he was detained at that stage when we first pulled in.
Has he said anything to you?
I'm sorry?
Did he say anything to you?
He did not give us a res gestae statement at all at that point.
Did the family detain him, or did he wait on his own?
He waited on his own. He,
When the family found the victim, sir, is that what they immediately called, or did they hear something?
no, the way it sounds, they immediately called when they found the victim and proceeded from there.
What about the knife that he used?
At this point, evidence shows it was a kitchen knife.
Were you able to find all of her? Did you find
Yes.
So it's all happened on property.
Everything happened on the property, and all parts and pieces were recovered and submitted for evidence.
Making prior calls to that house?
There has been prior calls disturbance-wise, but nothing to this effect and to this level of violence.
Any prior calls for him, sir?
There is a little history on him, but at this stage we'll keep that to ourselves.
So this all happened in the back of the house?
No, sir, no juvenile history, and this was taking place in a residence occupied by himself, the suspect, and the wife, the deceased, living behind the parents' house.
You say you make calls to the residents before. Are you talking about the parents' house or the house?
The parents' house.
Has there been calls specifically for the suspect and the deceased?
No, sir.
So it's just
Sir, can you describe the scene from your experience in what you saw?
It's a residential home, wooded lot, somewhat wooded lot on a rural area residential location, and not out of the ordinary to have a secondary living space on it.
Once you saw the scene, what can you tell us?
We really don't want to divulge any of that information. This is still an active investigation. It seems to be that the witnesses are coming forward, everything's taken care of, but we really don't want to put too much of that out.
What about the
He said,
victim?
was there a fight, an argument?
At this stage, we're going to stay away from that question.
Does the family say that they had any issues before, husband and wife?
That is not part of our questioning at this stage. It doesn't appear to be. It appears to be newlyweds, and that's where we stand with it.
Is the victim originally from the area?
The victim is not. She's at this stage of the game undocumented, and just happened to work somewhere near the location.
Do you know what country she's from?
I don't really want to say that because I'm not sure, and I don't want to put false information out.
You know for certain she's undocumented, is that what you're saying?
To the best of our knowledge, yes.
And then so were you, had you
I believe the only notification that we have had is an aunt who lives in the county.
So is it, to your best of your knowledge, so the parents of the suspect, Jared, like in front of the house when this all happened? So it happened.
They were inside their own house, their own residence, and were addressed by the suspect. And when they saw something wasn't feeling right for them, they approached the house that they were living in, and that's when they found what they found.
And you say do we know how many months, years they've been together?
I'm going to say very small amount of time.
As for the suspect, has he confessed to anything, Sheriff? What is
At this stage, we do have a confession, but it is still under further investigation.
He didn't say something. He earlier when I asked him, he made a statement.
He didn't say anything to us on scene. We brought him back for his witness statement, and that's when he confessed to it.
So, and I'm sorry to be clear. So he walked over to the parents' residence.
He left his residence, walked into the parents' residence, which induced them questioning where she was, and they went out back and found her.
as a human going to this scene and uncovering this, I mean, how is it to see something so?
The best you can say is that's the world we live in today, and it's a gruesome scene. And both sides of these families are going to be altered by it. Either way, suspect and or the victims.
Was she found in the living room, bedroom, kitchen?
It's a small residence. It's kind of all combined. So
I mean, this is something you hear in the movies, and stuff like this is just so.
it is gruesome. It's a gruesome crime, and hopefully everything turns out to be end up the best way it can at this point.
Do you think that the suspect might have been on something when this happened?
At this point, like I said, further investigation. We did recover evidence to be tested to see where that all leads. Until that information comes out, we'll stick to this as an open investigation.
Does he have any prior criminal history, any drug charges, anything?
No priors at this time that I have seen that we've been able to pull up. So this would be his first entry into our system.
And how old
You
is
have
the
some
suspect?
history though?
Just at the family and a possible sibling.
Oh,
So totally not related.
How old is the suspect?
The suspect is 21.
How long do you think she had been dead for before she was found?
It appears, to the best of our investigation, that somewhere around 11 o'clock that afternoon, which led into the phone call and then further investigation and producing warrants to even make entry into the house. So
And approximate age for the victim?
the victim is 21.
And his age?
He's 21 also.
I guess kind of a shock for this community, such a small community.
It is, and the neighborhood is a very low-key neighborhood, and it's a shock for all of them.
Any motive? Did he say anything on the
At this point, we're going to stick to still under investigation on the motive.
You just mentioned that the victim, she worked in the area. Do we know what she used to do?
As far as we could tell, she was counter help at a local business.
restaurant.
I don't want to say any company names.
Anything else that you'd like to add, Sheriff, that we haven't covered that you think is important?
You know, as far as the way things happen in this county and the progress the county makes as an agency, we are seeing a lot of more population moving out here. Things like this are going to move this direction. So we can hope for the best, and hopefully all people involved and all parties involved and all of the agency personnel take this and then be able to sleep well at night with it.